The FBI's recently released files provide new insights into the investigation of Shanquella Robinson's tragic death while on a trip to Mexico in 2022. These documents, which I've been trying to obtain since October 2023, don't fully reflect the FBI's stance, but rather detail the information reported to federal agents. And let me tell you, this case just keeps getting more shocking. New details reveal that Shanquella's so-called friends initially claimed she was drinking and hit her head on the toilet. However, FBI reports suggest a much darker reality. She was stomped on. One unnamed source, who referenced the widely circulated video of the attack, told investigators they saw photos of her body and believed she had been stomped on. The same person also suggested there were cameras inside the vacation rental, raising further concerns about what might have been caught on video. Now, Shanquella's so-called friends are pushing for the case to be handled in Mexico, possibly because they know it's less likely to move forward there. Her family, on the other hand, is still seeking justice, recently filing a lawsuit against the Cabo 6. Shanquella's mother has even called out federal authorities, accusing them of mishandling evidence, covering up crucial details, and deliberately altering the autopsy findings. According to her, she handed over important phone data to the FBI, only for them to dismiss it. She also alleged that an attorney had warned her in advance that the FBI would tamper with the autopsy, and that's exactly what happened. This lawsuit isn't just about justice for Shanquella, it's about holding those in power accountable, especially the FBI and the State Department, for failing to properly investigate and protect U.S. citizens abroad. The lawsuit claims Shanquella's mother suffered damages exceeding $25,000, and that authorities deliberately withheld investigation records from the family, despite formal requests. What's even more infuriating is that U.S. authorities previously announced they wouldn't press charges, citing a lack of evidence, even though a viral video showed one of the Cabo 6 brutally attacking Shanquella while she was naked in her hotel room, with others standing around recording. Another disturbing video, one of Shanquella's last Instagram stories, showed her searching for her friends, only to find them in a room acting strangely. Reports suggest that, beyond the widely shared footage, another unseen part of the attack involved Winter Donovan allegedly body-slamming Shanquella, after which she never got back up. The inconsistencies in the case are staggering. Shanquella's so-called friends gave conflicting accounts of how they found her. Some claimed she was on the floor, others said she was in bed, and another version placed her in a chair. Initially, they told her mother she had alcohol poisoning, but the official Mexican autopsy report stated she died from severe spinal cord injuries and atlas luxation, with no mention of alcohol in her system. Medical personnel recommended she be taken to a hospital, but her friends insisted she be treated on site. At 4:20 p.m., she had a seizure, prompting Winter to call 911. Despite emergency efforts, she was pronounced dead. Yet her death certificate stated she passed 15 minutes after her injury, while police reports claim medical professionals worked on her for nearly 3 hours.
Shanquella's mother said in an interview that one of the friends said that they found Shanquella unconscious on the floor. Another one claimed that they found her in a bed, while another one simultaneously told her father that they found her in a chair. She also said that the friends first called her to explain the situation, and moments later they called again to say that they had requested an ambulance. A few minutes later, they called again to say that Shanquella had passed, meaning the sequence of events took a couple of minutes and not 3 hours as was recorded in the police report. She also said that after her daughter's death, she got a frantic telephone call from her acquaintances on the trip, claiming that she had died from alcohol poisoning. But the Mexican Secretariat of Health's autopsy report and death certificate for Shanquella Robinson listed her cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, with no mention of alcohol. Apparently, the doctor also recommended that they transfer Shanquella to a hospital, but the friends insisted that she be treated on site. Then at 4:20 p.m., Shanquella had a seizure, and that's when one of her friends, Murd3r, called 911. During that time, her condition worsened, and at 4:49 p.m., the general practitioner said they stopped feeling her pulse and started CPR until paramedics arrived, but it was too late. There were also a bunch of other discrepancies with the death, because Shanquella's death certificate said she passed away 15 minutes after her injury, but police reports stated that she was with the doctor who tried to improve her condition for almost 3 hours. The certificate also stated 3 p.m. as the time of her passing, but the police report noted that she passed at 5:57 p.m. The certificate resulting from an autopsy also listed the official cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlantoxia subluxation, and not cardiac arrest, as was stated in the police report. There was also the fact that in the video that went viral, Shanquella was not wearing clothes, but when she was found, she was in pink biker shorts and a t-shirt and placed in front of the living room bathroom to try and make it look like Shanquella fell when she was exiting the bathroom. Literally, her friends claimed she died of alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy showed that she died of neck and spinal cord injuries. So the family filed the lawsuit and mentioned the U.S. State Department and the FBI because they could not understand why they were saying there was no evidence. And to make matters worse, when the family requested to know their findings, the feds told the family that they could get back to them in 5 years.
Even the time of death didn't match. One document listed 3 p.m., another said 5:57 p.m. Then there's the matter of her clothing. In the viral attack video, Shanquella wasn't wearing anything. But when authorities found her, she had on pink biker shorts and a t-shirt. Her body was also moved in front of the living room bathroom, seemingly staged to make it look like she had fallen. Her family continues to demand answers, questioning why authorities insist there's no evidence, and why, when they requested investigation records, the FBI told them they'd have to wait 5 years for a response. A 5-year delay only weakens the case further. Memories fade, witnesses become harder to reach, and evidence can disappear. Despite their frustration, the FBI recently released new investigative documents, though much of the information remains redacted. The files confirm that Shanquella had suffered severe trauma, consistent with being stomped on. Investigators also raised suspicions that hidden cameras may have been inside the Airbnb, possibly capturing what really happened before her death. The FBI even searched Shanquella's phone, but their findings remain undisclosed. Meanwhile, the Cabo 6 continue trying to escape accountability. Some of them recently argued in court that the wrongful death lawsuit should be dismissed or moved to Mexico since the crime took place there. This is highly suspicious because, after the incident, they all fled back to North Carolina. Shanquella's mother is pushing back, saying that since the lawsuit involves American citizens, North Carolina is the appropriate jurisdiction. So why are these so-called friends so desperate to have the case handled in Mexico? Well, for one, Mexican authorities have been accused of taking bribes. Early on, reports surfaced that the police who processed the crime scene kept $17,000 from Shanquella's luggage, potentially explaining why they were so quick to accept the Cabo 6's story. Investigative journalists also claim the Mexican government tried to downplay her death to protect the country's tourism industry. On top of that, Cabo is one of the most dangerous places in Mexico, particularly for locals. Murders happen at alarming rates, and law enforcement often lacks the resources or motivation to investigate them properly. Some say Shanquella was lucky to even get an autopsy, as many crime victims in Mexico go unidentified for months due to overflowing morgues. With all this in mind, it's easy to see why the Cabo 6 are pushing for a Mexican trial. They know the chances of a conviction are slim. Even though Mexican authorities issued an arrest warrant for Dejane Jackson, who has since changed her name to Imani Green, she still hasn't been arrested. People are deeply concerned that unless something changes, the Cabo 6 will walk away without facing any consequences. The FBI's newly released files only reinforce suspicions that this was a premeditated attack. At the end of the day, all Shanquella's family wants is justice. They've been fighting for over 2 years, and their pain is unimaginable. But will they ever get the closure they deserve? That remains to be seen. What do you think about this case? Should it be handled in Mexico or the US? And what do you make of these latest FBI revelations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.